Hi, it's JC at Motorcycle Superstore, and recently I've been given an opportunity to test some of Pirelli's off-road tires. This is the MX Extra X. This is basically their training tire, their value tire, their practice tire. It's designed to give you a wider range of performance in terms of the soil conditions it's good for, but it's also designed to give you predominantly more lifespan. I've been using this for almost a year. April 2014, it's now almost February 2015. So this thing's really been going for a long time. Let me give you some specifics on what I'm using and where I'm using it. This is a 190/19 on the rear. It's available in 100, 110, and 120 specs, both for 18 and 19-inch rims. This bike is a YZ125. Up front, I have the 80/121. It's only available in that size for front tires. So it's gonna fit most modern motocross and off-road style bikes. Now, this tire, like I said, is designed to last a long time. So they've done that by adjusting the rubber compounds. They softened the rubber from what was previously available to replace the MX Extra. And basically that's to keep it from slipping as much on hard terrain. It's also to help keep it from chunking out as much. And if you'll notice on this tire, there's virtually no chunking anywhere. So I've been extremely happy in that regard. Now, because it's a 125, it's not a high horsepower bike, it's not a high torque bike. However, this tire is spinning constantly. And breaking loose constantly because you have to keep the RPMs of the motor up, so it kind of only works when it's broke loose a little bit. And so that can be very hard on a tire as well. I'd love to hear some feedback from you who are using this tire with 4 strokes. But in terms of the way I've used it, here's how much I've ridden with it. I have 3 90-minute GP races on it. I've done several days of motocross on it, both locally here in Southern Oregon and up at Washougal. And also, I've got probably 15 day rides on it, just trail riding. Those are 2 to 4 hour sessions. That's a conservative estimate. I may have upwards of maybe 20 days on it, but this thing has really, really lasted. So let's talk about, we talked about the compound, but how about the structure here, the tread block pattern. You're going to find these bridges in between. Those give it some extra rigidity. Also, the pattern here is you'll find a straight set of knobs and then a slight bow tie, then another straight one and bow tie. Straight knobs are great for braking. The bow ties are aimed a little bit more at acceleration. Now, in terms of the performance and traction, it definitely does good traction. It's not as, I've run Pirelli's mid-soft and mid-hard in my local area, and I actually like their performance a little bit better, but I prefer this tire overall because it lasts so dang long. So it gives you good performance across the spectrum. Just like Pirelli says, it's gonna get you anywhere. It doesn't do great in super soupy conditions, so a mid-soft all the way up to hard pack. On rocks, it's not real grippy, especially like with looser, bouldery style rocks that tend to roll when you're on the brakes. That's been an area where I have noticed that these aren't as awesome either. But decomposed granite, I've ridden them there, I've ridden them in regular dirt. It's a very well-rounded tire. Now, the performance for braking and acceleration are great. There's no vagueness to this tire. The one thing I like about the rear is that it's consistent everywhere. Even if it's not giving you as much grip as you'd like, it doesn't ever fool you. You never think you have more and all of a sudden it goes away or anything like that. So the rear tire is very consistent in that way, and it does live up to its name, both in terms of what it does for grip and performance, but also how long it lasts. I've never had a tire last this long. This is going to be a budget tire. I'm somebody who likes to get the most money out of their stuff, so I like this. I'm even going to continue to use it longer than it's already been. Great looking tire. It's available for mini bikes as well. That's the MX Extra J. Exact same construction, everything to it. It's just for smaller bikes. Great for parents because if you don't want to be replacing your kid's tire all the time, they're probably being whiskey on it and whatnot. This is a great tire for kids as well. So let's talk about the front end very briefly. Now, the front was not quite as impressive as the rear tire in terms of performance. It does have a little bit of vagueness to it. Now, straight line braking, no problem. The only time I noticed really any hindrance from the tire was on really hard pack conditions. It doesn't get a lot of bite, but also mostly the big problem I had was trying to climb out of ruts. Sometimes it bites and climbs, sometimes it doesn't. When you're trying to stay on the high edge of a rut, if you're trying to side hill, sometimes it'll stay there like Velcro, and other times it just falls right away. So it's a little bit hard to judge the front in those particular situations. Otherwise, I'm very happy with that one as well. Now you're looking at about 110 bucks for full retail on the front. The rear tire, depending on which size you get, is going from like 110 to 135 full retail. You can find them on sale for cheaper than that. And considering the name brand, considering how long they last, I think that these are like legitimately twice the value of most tires out there. Leave me some feedback yourself. I hope that helps you make your purchasing decision, but I've been pretty much in love with this. 2 thumbs up from me. I'll be buying more of them in the future, that's for sure.